YouTube, what is up? All right, I wanted to talk about the first thing I'm going to do to this bad boy and kind of why. Yeah, start having some fun, start doing some videos. But it comes with this beautiful 15-inch beadlock, which is definitely a welcome improvement, man. The 14s, I did like how you had a lot of tire with the 1432, but this 15 is a better setup for sure. No more scraping rocks on your inner rim, hopefully with a little bit more clearance. Anyways, we got the Maxxis Liberty 32 on here. It's a dang good tire, and I don't want anybody to think that there's anything wrong with it. This is one of my favorite tires. It's bulletproof. You can pre-run Baja with it. It wears really well. It's definitely good too if you're going on the road. It's good for the road. But it's just a great all-around tire. Work decent in the dunes, decent in the snow. It's a good tire. But I've just been dying. Well, let's talk about two. You can kind of see on the Maxxis, it does run a little bit of a crown, and that's good and bad. But when you're at high speed, you're really running on these center two things because it's kind of ballooning a little bit too. So again, it's good and bad. I like these tires. Please don't get me wrong. There is nothing wrong with this Maxxis tire. It is badass. But I've just been dying for a set of KM3s. So I figured now is the time. So I got a brand new set of 32, 10, 15 KM3s. I am stoked to put them on here. I just love the way, dude, BF Goodrich, BF Goodrich and like Michelin, they're the same company. I mean, they have tire technology, and I just think this tire is going to be a little bit better than the Maxxis, and the Maxxis is good. So I'm really stoked. So we're going to take these off, probably end up selling these to a buddy. Really good tires. And we're going to throw the KM3s on. So I don't want to get any real miles on these so I can actually sell them to somebody as like a new tire. They got like 10 miles on them. But yeah, so stoked. Got my tire machines. I'm going to go to town and bust some tires and put these bad boys on. All right, be back in a sec. All right, first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to let the air out of the tire, just take out the valve stem, and then I'll pull off the beadlock ring while it's on the actual rig. I'll just make it easier so I don't have to sit there and worry about it being like bending over, so it'll be nice. It's a 13 mil, and they should come off pretty easy. All right, there we go. So now I'm going to grab my 19 mil, and we will pull off the wheel. And that's why I have that in the toolkit. Thing's badass. All right, we'll get this off. throw it on the tire machine and I'll show you how to do the rest. All right, so next step is I got to break the inside bead loose over on the tire machine. So that is what I'm going to do next. Pops right off. Sometimes this can be a little tricky, but throw it in the clamps. Okay, so yeah, not too hard to do. The only thing is just now we just need to get that inside bead over the outside lip. Best way to do that. Let's get the new BFG on there. Okay, while I got these tires off, I thought we should weigh the Maxxis and the BFGs and see how much they weigh. I'm getting right at 40 pounds, 40.2 on the Maxxis. Now let's try a BFG. Oh, BFG is definitely heavier. So, according to this scale, 43, so a couple pounds. It's 3 pounds heavier than the Maxxis. The Maxxis is a good light tire, definitely. So, I'm stoked on the BFG. I just like the tread pattern, a few other things about it. So, let's get it on, see how it looks. All right, on the BFGs, it doesn't matter which way you mount them. There is no inside or outside or left and right. The tread pattern is the same on both sides, so you can flip them or do whatever you want. So let's get them mounted. Going on is easier than going off, so we're done. So now I just need to throw the bead lock ring on and we'll be good to go. Alright, so here's the deal. Mounting the new BFG is proven to be a little more difficult than I thought. This piece right here is a lot thicker than the Maxxis. So these bolts that Can-Am gives you, I can get them to start, but there is not very much threads biting. So I think I'm gonna go get a new bolt. I want like 1/4 inch longer, so you have more threads in there. I just don't think this is gonna get enough bite the way it is. So I kind of just went around and kind of tightened them and got them all to go in, but I mean, I was barely getting it in. So going to the hardware store, getting a longer bolt. We'll see how that goes. All right. All right, YouTube, what is up? So I'm working on installing my new BF Goodrich Cam 3 tires, which I am stoked on, and they are heavy duty and they're kind of a pain in the ass to install, but they're gonna be dope. And I thought I'd check the mail because a couple weeks ago, like probably 3 weeks ago, after the race, after the Jackpot 250 race, when I raced by myself, I kept hitting big rocks, and I was like, man, I want to know what my tire pressure is. I kept thinking I had a flat tire, and it was crazy, and it was 250 miles. I didn't have a co-driver, and I was sitting there thinking to myself, dude, I want a tire pressure system. So then I started doing research, and there is some new Bluetooth tire pressure sensors that just work with an app. So you just use the sensor, and then you have an app on your phone. So like when I race, or if I ever want to check it, I can get a mount from my phone, throw it in the cab of the Turbo S, or the XRC, and I would know what my tire pressures were. So if I was on the trail, thought I got a hole, I would know. And you know, if I was, you know, if it was going up 5 pounds because I was hauling ass, I would know. I could let some out. So really stoked. So here are the sensors. I had to get them directly from China. So it took a little while. I'm gonna try to see if I can source some here locally, but yeah. So there's the sensor, and I just put the first one in the Can-Am wheel, and it's gonna work perfectly. So there's the sensor on the top, and there is the sensor in the wheel, and it's gonna be freaking awesome. I think it's totally gonna work. I just got it in, so I am pretty pumped. This is gonna be freaking cool. So I'm gonna get the BFGs mounted up, and then I'll tell you, we'll go through and check it out and see how it does. And it'll be really cool to see how, you know, I know racing cars, your pressures will always change. You know, once you go and do a couple hot laps, you actually go up in pressure. And so while you're racing, you're actually higher than you want to be. So you'll be able to set your pressure, and then when it pulls those extra 2 pounds, you'll know where the right pressure is. So again, pretty pumped. I'll keep you guys updated, and if it works, like, I'll show you guys how to do it. But man, it's a pretty cheap way to always know what your tire pressure is. So pretty dope. All right, YouTube, what do you guys think about BFGs on the X3 XRC Turbo RR? Pretty sick. Always wanted a good set of BFGs. So the tires were a pain in the butt to put on. They have a thicker sidewall, you know, which is great, but on these factory beadlocks, at least, like, there's just not a lot of room, so I could barely get the bolts to thread. I thought about getting different bolts. I couldn't find the right size. Came back, tried the bolts. I had to basically, you know, usually I would do like a, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4 type kind of torque pattern when I torque them down. I put them at 15 foot-pounds, and basically what I had to do is I had to do a circle to get that ring to start to seal. So I did like 5 pounds, and then I came back and started going across 10 pounds and 15 pounds. Torque spec is 18 pounds. It feels like it's too much, so I'm gonna try it at 15 pounds and kind of go from there. But yeah, I'm stoked. I also got in my Tpms sensors, which is freaking, I'm pretty stoked on. So you have an app, they're Bluetooth sensors. They have tire temperature, tire pressure, and then also if there's a leak, it has a leak. Basically, you can sense that the air is releasing out of the tire, and it'll give you an alarm. So for racing, that's going to be kind of cool. And then just for general, so now I have a metal sensor in there. Just for general, just before you go on a ride, you could just open your app and know exactly what your tire pressure is. I think it's just so freaking cool. I'm also curious to see like how much how much pressure adds when you're ripping. Because usually when you heat up, you know, you'll add some PSI. So pretty stoked, guys. It went good. I need to get out and get a proper ride for you guys, which I will do. But I wanted to kind of change the tires first because I'm going to sell the OE tires to pay for these ones. So kind of a nice little cheap upgrade in the end, which is cool. Mostly because I just did it all myself too. But anyways, man, this thing is a beast. The motor is like unreal. And I'll have to do a proper walk around too and go through everything. So I got some work to do, but hopefully you guys enjoyed that video. Hopefully I'll get out and get a ride for you maybe tomorrow morning and get this thing ripping. All right, guys, thanks. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.